wife was dying because I had her at home at night when the nurse went home. She'd fall asleep. She had Parkinson's. And so I didn't have nothing to do. And so this is what I did. I dug into all my private collection of pictures, and I cropped them, I scanned them, I grouped them according to year, and there's 510 pictures on this wall. And I gave them to the wrap guy, and he made a wrap. This is a wrap.
There's some over here from when you were a kid.
Yeah, it goes all the way back to when I was a little kid. In fact, here it is, my mother, right there, when they came over from Hungary. And this is me and my little brother. Our dog had just got run over by a car. It's my mother. I just moved the dump truck load of bricks that I talk about in my Don and his cars. My stepfather, who said to me one morning, I can see you're not happy in your job. I was an accountant at a big department store in Tampa. He said, you love cars, that's what you ought to do. I quit and got a job in a radiator shop. And then I met my wife at the beach. And I took her to her graduation. I told the parents I was marrying her, the wedding, the honeymoon, my first drag race at Zephyr Hills, the first car that we built for a racer, her and I built it together, my first top eliminator trophy, my first NHRA win, my garage at home, and there's Swamp Rat 1 being built.
Oh, right there, yeah.
That's it.
The front frame rail, yeah. Unbelievable.
The fire at Chester. There's where it lit, and there's where it got intense. No gloves, no face mask, nothing. I'm lucky to be here. One of the first enclosed trailers, I built it myself.
Oh, that's awesome. There's a lot of people.
Too big, doesn't even have 2 axles. It needs 2 axles.
It looks like it might need 2 axles.
The big lineup of the superstars in 19.
Where's that?
This is 1960 at the AHRA Nationals in Kansas City. The Greek, my car, Bob Sullivan, Art Malone, Bobby Langley. Those were the top names in fuel. That's my father. The rear engine car during testing. Here's an awesome picture of my foot. That's my foot right there. It ain't a nice clean cut.
That's not a nice clean. This people can see this. It's not a nice clean cut.
No.
Oh my goodness.
The first national
You speak about
win,
that pretty casually.
Yeah, first national win. You can see the parts going by the guy's head. That's why we have rear engine cars.
Oh, there's on the cover of Hot Rod.
Yeah, right after the
Yep.
win. This is Swamp Rat 12. This is a car that's out there. It only went to a couple of minutes. It was too short and too light. It just didn't handle good. And,
What's going on here? Rebuilding in the pits?
Yeah.
Did you tell me this story? Was this in Canada?
Yeah, that was in
This is in Canada.
Yep.
And this is where you remember telling me the story about carrying a gun through airport security? Carried a gun all the time in your briefcase, right?
Oh yeah, well we always carried a gun because we had hijackers that might try to get the plane and go to Cuba. I'd have just shot them dead. Of course, it was different then. It was a different time. The only run I ever made with wheel pants, I knew right away they were dangerous. It waved the car around when you moved it, so I didn't have that anymore.
So do you make that was the only run ever?
Only
took
one,
them on,
just
took them
that
off.
one run.
Wow.
The wheel pants are in the booth with the car. The streamliner didn't work well. Look at him.
Oh my
I
goodness.
was in good shape then.
Oh yeah. You guys see that?
Shirley.
Yep, you and Shirley. You look friendly there.
Bob Metzler.
Oh, what a unbelievable promoter, right? I mean, Union Grove.
And this was the museum before it opened. This was where we were still building it.
He was Richard.
And of course the famous wheel
Yeah,
stand.
the famous blow over. How long did you?
My Bonneville adventure, put me in the 200 mile an hour club. That's at Union Grove.
Oh, got away, Bob.
This was a fine car, 26. This is brand new. There's Herb Parks. The Sidewinder didn't do too well.
That one's at the museum. I've seen it. Actually, I think the cover of our magazine's pretty close to that one. Fire burnouts.
Yeah.
What got you going on fire? Who was doing fire burnouts? What got that going?
We did the first one. It was an accident. Right here. We put the glue down, and what happened was I went to make the chirp, and they didn't have enough glue under one side, so they rolled me back to put more glue, and it come up, and the flames come out of the pipes and lit it. And then I saw it, and I spun, and that made the big thing. We said, "What have we got here?" The crowd went wild, and so we practically patented it. There's one of the famous ones there.
I've got that poster.
And one from the AHRA, which was
Where's that at? Oh, yep.
This was another famous one right there. That's a good one. NHRA outlawed them, you know, but I'd go to these NHRA tracks and they'd want me to do one, and I'd make them call NHRA and give them permission for me to do it. This is when I came back. This is at Fest 2000 in West Palm Beach. This was a 303 run.
When my sister seen that picture, she said, "I gotta have one of them guns."
Yeah. Yeah. This was the prototype one. This was 2008. They only made 2 of them. I tested one, and Judy Lilly tested the other. Then they made 2009s.
Drag packs.
There's my big run at my Swamp Rat 34 right here, 323. I drove the car 340 miles an hour on that run. I drove it out the back door, and of course our wheel speed speedometers, the computer showed 340 when I lifted. This is why the car is so good. The wheels are in. It's got 2 square feet less frontal area. This car on this run gained 65 miles an hour from the 8th to the end, which was 3 miles an hour more gain than any fuel car at that point. And then they charged me right then they had to outlaw it because they were trying to slow the speeds down because the tracks weren't long enough.
And what people probably don't realize is on that run, it probably didn't even, the way Big Daddy tunes, it probably didn't even hurt a piston, did it?
I told you I went 340, and I never even, all I had was one little ring was pinched. The car would have went real fast if it,
but that's how you've always run your stuff.
I raced 2 years at NHRA, 2002, 2003. I started with 4 engines. I still have them, but I only qualified once because I only make my car go what it can go. I will not destroy parts.
But that's what it's become out here, right?
That's the whole deal. You got to destroy shit. There's my Swamp Rat 1 after we redid it, making burnouts in my driveway.
You're big on burnouts in the driveway.
Oh, I love it.
I do too. I do too.
I have one here at Sefner. I tested at Sefner. It's the same deal. My wife on our last vacation. This is the little dog that you see here. She's Bonnie. Her mother died recently. That was her mother. Of course, there's all my
drag. This is recently. Oh, look at this. This is the cover of my magazine.
Yeah.
This is the best interview I ever did. Best interview I ever did.
This is the 12 out here doing burnouts in the driveway for Chrysler. They were taping this.
Of course, there's one of the 3s.
Unbelievable. It's been quite the deal, eh?
Yeah. We just finished, Lisa and I just finished. We wrapped for right here, and it's all about the electric car and what's going on now.
Unbelievable.
They just gave me the quote to put it up there the other day. I didn't quite get it for Gainesville. Look at here.
Yep, we got a little bit of sunlight. A little bit of sun.
Yes,
Well, Don, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. Drag Illustrated Magazine. Pay attention to our social media all weekend. We'll be doing more interviews, and maybe I can get Don to tell us a few more stories later on. So,
Thank you so much.
thank you, Don.